Hey, what's up, everybody? Metal Biker Dude coming at you here. We've been doing a lot of Avenged Sevenfold over on Patreon, especially. And, we've really dug into some. We did a full length version of LBC, Live at LBC. We did a full length version of the album Nightmare. And we've done some singles here and there, too. And, it got me to thinking, this thing popped up on the related stuff, on YouTube, how it's got the thing over on the right side. And I saw one over there that says Avenged Sevenfold's M Shadows, Fact or Fiction. So I thought, what a great way to kind of get to know some of the members of the band. So I thought, because I've really taken to these guys a lot, they're just a very enjoyable band to listen to for me personally. So I thought, let's kind of get to know them a little bit better. And I thought I'd open up the lens and let you watch it with me so you can watch me get to know them. And maybe there's something you didn't know. Who knows? It's a Wikipedia fact or fiction, so fuck it.
This is M Shadows and you're watching Loudwire.
He's got a raspy voice when he talks too, huh?
Hey everyone, Graham from Loudwire here, and it's Wikipedia Fact or Fiction time, an episode you've been asking for a long time. M Shadows, thank you so much,
What's up, man?
It's great to have you here. Thank you so much for sitting down with me.
All right.
I don't want to interrupt this, and I'm not going to after this, but I just wanted to point out, or I'm going to try not to. I just wanted to point out that he said that it was basically people screaming for this one, but I can attest to that because the Avenged Sevenfold fans that have come over to Patreon, they're kind of rabid. It reminds me somewhat because I've gotten into hip hop and rap and stuff like that too, and it kind of reminds me of the Eminem fans. They're just rabid about Avenged Sevenfold in the same way that Eminem's fans are rabid about Eminem. So, right on.
So, this very day, I went on to Avenged Sevenfold.
I understand
Wikipedia,
why.
Your Wikipedia, albums, songs, all that stuff. Pulled out some things. You can tell me if it's fact or fiction.
Okay.
All right. So first off,
I thought it'd be good.
Matthew Charles Sanders, born in Huntington Beach, California.
I was born somewhere else.
They do get that wrong a lot of the time. So where was it?
I was born in Fountain Valley.
That's also in California?
For my recollection, that was.
Okay.
It was Fountain Valley is from. I think that's what it says on my birth certificate.
Okay, so we'll trust the birth certificate.
It's the city next door.
Okay, well, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, so a little bit of fiction. We always got to check that. It says that you began singing at an early age, but your interest in rock and heavy metal music really grew as you learned to play the guitar.
Sure.
Oh, okay.
It's like a nuanced little statement there, I guess, because it's like, who really knows, right? I was into Guns N' Roses. My dad gave me the first tape, and I was into rock music, and then I wanted to purchase a guitar, and obviously got more and more into it. So I guess it's true.
Okay, so the interest in rock was when you were singing, but then that kind of pushed you into guitar.
I was definitely not singing. I was just listening.
You weren't even singing
back then?
back then?
No, I was not singing. I didn't want to be a singer, man. I got forced into it.
When did you start singing then?
Wow.
We started a punk band, and we were just like, I played piano, and I don't have perfect pitch where I can tell you what notes are being played, but I can always sing whatever note's being played, and I can figure out my way around what's going on. And, so I guess I had a natural ear for it. Mm-hmm. So you become the singer when you're, in high school or grade school, and people are starting bands. So you're like, I guess I got to sing. I'm the only one that can sing in key.
All right. So I guess you didn't start singing at a very young age,
no.
like it's said in here.
No.
So okay, there's some fiction. Wikipedia says that you can play the clarinet.
No. I wish that was true.
Nice. Okay. Thought that may have been true. Maybe in the high school band or.
Oh, that's great. I love that. Can we just make that true?
If you
I'd be
want it
so
to be
much cooler if I could play the clarinet.
It'd be pretty good. Those reeds are difficult, though.
I'm telling you, dude, I tell everyone this. They go, like, what instrument should I play? What am I going to want to play when I say anything? think about going to a dinner party, you're 30 years old, and someone just picks up the clarinet and just slays on it. It's cool.
Wikipedia cites Guns N' Roses as your biggest influence, and it says that Slash was one of the inspirations for Avenged Sevenfold coming up with stage names.
That's true.
That's all true. Okay.
Oh, wow.
So when you were a kid, seeing the name Slash, I guess you're like, oh, that's so cool. I got to have my own Slash. Was it a bit like that?
A little bit, but it was more like we were part of a hardcore scene that was very judgmental, and we knew that it would piss people off if we had stage names, and we loved pissing people off. So
Okay, so I've heard that one of my patrons told me that it was to kind of piss some people off, but I'm wondering what this is. This looks like they're really, really young. I wonder if we can find it. Hey, if any of you guys know what this is, this video that they're showing right now, send me the link, please.
Guns N' Roses is one of the big boy bands that, they were just above all that. We're like, we're going to make some fake names, and we're just going to stick it out with them. And then now you have a bunch of 36-year-old men with stage names, which is going to be even worse when we're 80.
Did you succeed in pissing off the hardcore kids with the stage names?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Awesome. They're not hard to piss off.
You guys formed in '99 along with Zachy Vengeance, the Rev, and Matt Wendt, all of whom you knew from middle school.
Yep.
That's all true.
That's true.
Tell me about Matt Wendt. I feel like I know nothing about him or anything about him.
So Matt Wendt was a good friend of ours that was into all the punk rock we were into and all the bands, and he's just one of our best friends. Played sports with him, played music with him growing up. And then, at some point he decided that he was going to go to college. We actually saw Matt Wendt a couple months ago on our last tour. He came out to the San Francisco show with his wife, and he's awesome. He's got his family, and he's doing politics, and he's doing his thing, and he's it's awesome. It was good to see him.
Oh, that's cool. I guess it worked out for him. Huh?
Yeah.
Rush's original drummer, his name was John Rutsey, and and he's no longer with us. He died, I believe, of diabetes. But and then you hear this so many times. The most infamous one is, or most famous one, I guess, is the guy who was in the Beatles and quit. Okay.
That's cool. It says that Sounding the Seventh Trumpet was recorded for just $2,000, and the Rev recorded all his drums in just one take.
That's true.
Wow, all true. So I guess that's the first time that you did a true recording with the Rev. Obviously, you knew how talented he was. Were you still blown away that he was able to do it all in one take?
No, because we just knew Jimmy. It was just him. It was just like, that's him. It's like, and he was, by the end there was like mistakes, and he just wouldn't redo them because he was going to ruin his one take.
Man, so he really wanted to be that one take guy.
Yeah, and as you hear the record progress, because a lot of the songs that were in the end of the record were recorded later, and you could just see it get sloppier and sloppier, and it was awesome. It was fun. He just no click track, obviously. It was just all over the place. He just played, and he just wanted to do it one take, and he went around town telling everyone one take.
It said that you decided that you didn't want to scream anymore shortly after finishing Sounding of the Seventh Trumpet. Of course, Waking the Fallen was a bit of screaming. So is that true or not?
It's sort of true. I mean, I don't remember exactly how the process went, but I just felt some of the songs on Waking the Fallen could have, I remember at the time wanting to have more and more vocals. And I remember that was a key part of the songwriting. And a lot of times it's so easy to write. I mean, it's going to sound bad, but it's so much easier to write riffs than just scream over them. When you have to come up with a vocal melody and the chord progressions have to work and the vocal melody has to be interesting, it's so much more challenging. But it's also, to me, a lot more fulfilling once you nail that. And as we were getting bigger, I just kept finding myself being more and more attracted to European power metal that was singing like the Blind Guardians and the Sonata Arcticas, and I was finding myself drift further away from just the pure scream, even though I like the riffage. So on Waking the Fallen, we were just, when we had good vocal parts, we just put them in, and when we couldn't think of anything, we'd scream. And then on the next record, we said, we're done with that. We're just going to go and just put our work in and just really do the vocals on this one and sing. So I think by City of Evil, we had a plan, but it was just a very...
Okay, so I want to back this up here a little bit, catch everything. But so I'm kind of confused here. So were they like a screamo band? Because I heard him say something about a punk rock band. Okay, so I haven't heard any of a screaming type of. I mean, he's done some screams and songs we've listened to, but nothing I would define as screaming. For an entire song by any stretch. It's usually very melodic. So okay, I'm still learning, guys.
This one and sing. So I think by City of Evil, we had a plan, but it was just a very natural progression that we were just unhappy screaming.
Warmness on the Soul. You're credited as Shadows, and Sinister Gates is credited as Sinister Gates, Gaytes. And it says on Wikipedia that it's because the stage names were not completely final at the time.
So Sinister Gates definitely wanted his name spelled Gaytes. And then once
Very
he saw
good.
it in print, he said, I'm changing it to Gates.
Okay.
Gay. Okay.
So he was obviously aware of the gay and
Yeah.
was
I think
thought
he
it was
liked
funny
that. He
at the
thought it was
time.
funny. And then
Yeah.
it wasn't so funny anymore. So
And then he sees
got
it
rid
in
of it.
print and he's like,
Yeah, we're going to
okay,
change
Gates.
that. Yeah.
It says A Little Piece of Heaven was inspired by Broadway show tunes, and an animated video was made for the song, but due to the song's controversial subject matter, Warner Brothers only released it to registered MVI users on the internet.
Yeah, I don't know. It's all over the internet now, so I don't know what the deal is with it.
Yeah.
I do know that the song just came straight out of Jimmy's brain. I don't know if it was inspired by anything other than like
We
Oingo
got deep
Boingo.
into that.
It was very Danny Elfman inspired.
Oh, sure.
And so I don't know if show tunes is the right term, but I think the press kind of put that word out there after it came out. But really, it was just we were going to do a Halloween EP, and that was one of the songs that was going to be on it. And when we played it for the label, when we handed the record in, we had these extra songs, and they came to us and said, why is this not on the record? And we said, because it's like a crazy, and they're like, you guys are insane if you don't put this on the record. And we're like, fine, we'll put it on the record.
That was probably a
Wow.
good call by them.
Well, you know what it
frankly.
was? I think a lot of it had to do with it was going to scrap our EP idea, and we were really butthurt about that.
Oh, really?
Like, no, we need our Halloween EP.
Yeah.
AFI had a Halloween EP, it was cool.
Oh, okay.
So we got that scrapped, and the label made a good call there and said, this is really cool.
Wow.
We didn't think they would get it. That's
No.
why, you know what I mean? Like, we thought we were going to hand that in there and be like, what are you guys thinking?
I didn't.
It says
at
the
first.
single Nightmare was digitally released on May 18th, 2010. A preview for the song was released on May 6th on Amazon, but was removed soon after for unknown reasons.
I remember that. We were in Mexico, and I remember all of a sudden we have all this hype for a new record, and there it is, leaked on Amazon.
Leaked.
They totally messed it up. We weren't able to do our plan.
Yeah.
And they just jumped the gun, and I don't know if it was a mistake, a digital mistake, or if it was just purely someone that wanted to jump the gun on it.
Yeah.
But we were in all of us were in Mexico, hanging out, and we were flipping out. We're
Yeah,
like,
you're pissed.
"What the-" Yeah, we're so bummed because we wanted it to be released the way we wanted it to be
Of
released.
course.
Right on.
And since then, I think we've really chilled out on that kind of stuff. It is what it is. It's the internet. It's going to be out there eventually, and it's going to be free eventually. So, but at the time, it was kind of a new thing. Like, wow, they got us. They put this out before we wanted it out.
Yeah, I guess back then leaking wasn't quite as common. Now it's like, it's just going to happen, right?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Unless you surprise release a record, then it doesn't. leak.
Exactly. Then you leak it yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one for you. It says the stage is Avenged Sevenfold's first concept album, but Nightmare was planned to be a concept record, but the plans were scrapped following the Rev's passing.
Okay, so we were throwing around the idea of doing Nightmare as a concept album.
Right.
But I don't even consider the stage a concept album. I think it's conceptual.
Really? Okay.
I mean, it's conceptual with, the ideas that all kind of piece it together, but there's no story, there's no guy and I feel like there's really no like character, and this is just the human race, and it's about things that can all fit together between artificial intelligence, space exploration, et cetera, et cetera. But I feel like it's conceptual and it's in its pieces, but I don't feel like this is a concept album
Okay.
per se.
Gotcha. Well, was Nightmare ever supposed to be a legit concept album?
It's such early workings. I mean, the first song, Nightmare, was going to start it off, this guy in
Okay.
a dream and wakes up and who knows, right? I mean, that's where it was going. But then when something happens, in your life, that
Changes what you're
Rough.
going to be
Tragic.
inspired by.
exactly.
Frank.
So that's
Yeah.
almost a concept album, the same with the stages. It's all based around Jimmy
Yeah.
at that point. So I think they're two conceptual records, but I would not say concept album.
Fair enough. Dude, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot,
I appreciate it. Go get the Stage if you haven't gotten it yet, the deluxe edition, and also live at the Grammy Museum acoustic record. M Shadows, everybody.
Right on, man. That was interesting. I learned a lot of things I wasn't expecting. So they were in a punk rock band. Is there any music from that? Like to know about that. And then also, it sounds like a screamo band at one point, maybe. Like to dig in on that a little bit. I don't really get into screamo stuff, but I certainly wouldn't mind listening to something, especially if it were live. That would be really cool because Avenged Sevenfold is a live band. They've got some great stuff that they've done in the studio, but once I got a view of LBC, I realized that this is a band that knows how to put on a performance, and so yeah, that's that was interesting. And then what was the other thing? I had another thought, and I apologize, guys. It's kind of slipping my mind, but at any rate, it's good to get to know. I mean, I was hoping maybe it was just M Shadows, but I was hoping maybe there'd be somebody else there too. But regardless, we can get into that some other time. Maybe check out and see what's behind the mind of Sinister Gates. I will tell you that I did watch a video, and this is a while back actually, with Sinister Gates. It was an interview, but he was selling. He was there to promote his Gates, what they call Hellwind amplifiers, and I'm still kind of interested in buying one. They're terribly expensive, but I sure wouldn't mind owning one because I love the premise behind what he did on it. It's a very unique amp. It's got some things that normally you have to have extra pieces for that you can just dial in right on the amplifier. Very cool. So I do remember watching that, but he didn't really talk about himself. He was just there to promote that. So I wouldn't mind getting to know the rest of the guys too. So, but at any rate, hope you guys enjoyed that. Trying to help take your mind off of a lot of things out there that's going on in the world, and I hope this helped a little bit. Metal Biker Dude, peace.